All right, I went to Walmart and bought a pork butt yesterday. I'm going to cook it up today. The one I got, it's about 7.5 pounds. It was $13, so not super expensive. I'm going to season it. I saw this at the store. I'm going to give this a try. I've never tried it. I'm sure it'll end up just fine. But I'm going to show you how you get one of these prepared to sit out on the smoker and kind of show you what you need to do to make one turn out pretty good. All right, I'm going to wash this real quick and I'll be right back with it. Okay, after you rinse it off, you're going to want to dry it off as best as you can, just with a paper towel. A little bit. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. It just makes it easier to work with. And then you're going to want to trim it up. Like, see some of this stuff on here that you don't want to eat. Like, see that? That's a big vein rolling through here. We're going to cut that out, hopefully. Hopefully it cuts out pretty easy. You know, nobody's going to want, when they're making a sandwich, nobody's going to want to get that piece of meat. So just cut that out. I mean, that's pretty gross. I don't know if the camera's picking it up as gross as it is, but it's black. You know, it's full of blood. Not what really people really want to eat. But trim up all this fat on it, you know. Like, that's a big thing of fat. Not really interested in cooking that. Nobody's going to want to eat it. There's so much fat inside of these that really doesn't make much of a difference. This knife needs to be a little sharper, don't it? Yeah. Still got to do a little bit more here, because look at that. This little thing right here. There we go. That looks pretty good. This thing right here, that's a nice chunk. Let's see if we can get that out of there. Need to invest in a little nicer knife, don't I? Jeez. Should be fine. There we go. I'm happy with that now. See how I cut enough fat off to where you can see the pink through it a little bit? That's what I'm looking for. Try to get this right here a little better. I'm gonna make sure you don't have any like real sharp edges on it. Like, see this piece right here? This thing's gonna cook weird. So just kind of just trim it down, just make it flat. And most of that in there's fat anyway, so I mean it's not gonna be, you're not wasting anything that's really gonna be too good. At least I don't think so. And then on the back side, we're going to trim some of this layer of fat off, because I really don't care for them. See if we can get it started. I really recommend getting a better knife than I've got. This thing makes this a little bit of a hassle. There we go. There we go. I think that's about perfect. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of yellow mustard, shake it up pretty good. Make sure you got your seasoning open, which we do. And take the mustard, sprinkle it, just pour a little bit on it. You don't need a lot. You can overdo it, I think. But just enough to where that seasoning is going to stick on the meat. All right, so there we go. Need to get a little bit over there. There we go. I thought I got a boneless one, but this one's got a bone in it, so that's all right. It doesn't make a difference. Now, I'll take the seasoning and just sprinkle it on top. Maybe. Oh. This shaker's not cooperating too good. Yeah, this is a hassle. Now, do the same thing on the other side. There we go. And we're going to let it sit out here for probably 25-30 minutes, and then we're going to set it on the grill. And then we don't even need to put a probe in it. Just stick it out there 3-4 hours, and then we'll wrap it up in foil and continue cooking it. Alright, so I pulled it off. This is what it's looking like right now. You're really just waiting to see whenever you get that nice red color that it's got. Well, that's just the smoke that's kind of soaking into it. I'm going to show you what you need to do. I put it out there at noon. It's now 4:07. It's been 4 hours out there at 225 degrees, so I'm going to show you what you need to do after that. First thing you got to do, get yourself a big piece of foil like this. Get some brown sugar and just kind of eyeball it. I'd say this is maybe half a cup, maybe a cup. You kind of want to give it a little, figure out about how wide it is, and then just kind of spread it out like that. There you go. So that looks good. Now, get some honey and drizzle that over it. And then take that same seasoning that you put on it and then sprinkle some of that on top. Then get about a whole stick of butter, and I always cut it up into these little pats, and then just place them on there like so. And then I got a meat probe. You're going to want to take this, and you're going to want to stick it somewhere inside of it. Well, let's set it on there first. And then find about the thickest part. One thing, there's a bone in here. You don't want to hit that bone. So just stick it, I'd say about right here. Stick it in there like so. And then, I don't like it that way. That's not the way I usually do it. There we go. So you got all that butter and brown sugar and everything on the bottom. And what's going to happen, it's all sealed up in here. It's just like, it's going to cook in all that moisture, and I'm going to stick a meat probe in it. I got one of these things. I'm going to stick it in. Where's that bone? The bone's right here. About right here. About that far in. Make sure it's tight, and then we're going to put it back out there. I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to wait till it gets to 208 degrees, and then I'll show you what to do next after that. Okay, so the probe is saying that we're at 212 degrees now. Yeah, look at all that juice. I can tell you this thing's going to be good. All right, so we got the pork. Pork's sitting over there resting right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of a basic barbecue sauce. It's pretty interesting. It's really simple. I think most people will have what I have here, probably in their cupboards. So first step, let's turn the fire on here. Turn it on high. First thing we're going to put in a little bit of ketchup. Sounds simple, but it's going to need an absolute shitload of ketchup. So we're making a bunch of barbecue sauce here. So a little bit more. All right. So for everybody that's going to want to measure on what I'm doing here, we probably used half. Shit. So we probably used half the bottle, 32 ounces. Can't read it. Camera didn't focus. But 16 ounces of ketchup. 4 cups. Next thing we're going to do, a little bit of that seasoning. So this is a big thing that I'm really picky about with barbecue stuff. If you do like one seasoning for, like you use one seasoning to make the food and then you throw on Baby Ray's because you like that barbecue sauce, I always feel like the flavors just don't mix right. So I always like making my own barbecue sauce because of that. And it all fits together. I don't know if that'll make 100%, you know. I don't know if that'll make 100%. Whatever I'm thinking, but anyway, lose my train of thought here. This fucking thing takes too long to make. This next thing, salt, pepper, garlic. Oh, how salty do you want it? Yeah, I like it pretty salty, so we're trying to hit a home run here. So I don't know, whatever that was. Simple. Everybody likes garlic. We go organic because I live in West Virginia. We're a pretty hillbilly-ass state that everything organic's hippie. So we're going to put a bunch of organic garlic in here. And depending on how you like it, I like some Frank's Red Hot in here. Couple of these. There you go. Now, you got to get a little bit of sweetness in there, a little bit of honey. Probably the rest of what I got here. I'm going to throw this fucking thing away. Oh, let's come on. Oh, yeah. And this is the secret. A little bit of brown sugar. Same stuff we wrap the thing in. Oh, I'd say just about that much. Now, we need something to stir it up with, because this is what we got now. It don't look too pretty, but let's get it stirred up. All right. It's been about an hour since we checked the temps. Let's go ahead and unwrap this bad boy. So, as you can see, we have a lot of moisture. Look at all that. So what that is, that's sugar. That's a lot of good stuff that we need to deal with. What we're going to do, we don't want to throw it away. So we're going to take it, and let's set the camera up right here. We're going to take it, we're going to form like an edge in this foil. You got to make sure you mind on some of the little holes we've made. This is going to be a little tricky, I can tell, because we've cut little holes in this thing. And you're just going to take it, pick it up, and hopefully you don't make a big mess, but I'm not promising you don't. And dump, oh yeah, and dump a chunk of it in there. And what my plan is here, I've got a crock pot warming up. I'm going to dump the rest of the juices. I'll show you. I dumped about half of them juices in the thing. I took a sample when I unwrapped it a second ago. We're going to dump the rest of the juices in the crock pot, so that way whenever you're warming it up. Alright, so this is what we end up with. I dumped all the juice. We got a good little bit of juice here. Remember, we dumped some in the barbecue sauce. Let's mix that up. Now remember, we're going to let this simmer down here for probably, oh, I got a timer set 21 minutes. Honestly, we're going to let it sit there and simmer till the 21 minutes is up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what you're looking for. Woo! Look at this bone. See that? That's the definition of fall off the bone. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Alright, so we're just going to use these tongs. It's working out pretty good now. So, we're just going to take these tongs. We're just going to use them to try to smash some of this meat up. This meat is still scalding hot. Like, I think I could probably burn my hands if I used my hands to pull this shit apart. But this is about what pulled pork comes from. It stinks. It smells bad. Alright, so I've smashed the pork butt apart. I just want to show you some things, like when you're taking them apart, like example, like look at this piece. You have a big piece here, but see this? All fat. If you take the time, this is the thing that makes this is the thing that really makes the difference in pulled pork. Just take the time, separate this fat, set it on the side. Alright, so I just took the time. I pulled all the meat apart, so this is what we're left with. And the barbecue sauce, it's been sitting here slowly simmering, just coming by, stirring it every couple minutes, like so. It's been simmering for about 45 minutes. So what we're going to do, kind of shake that off a little bit. Let's take the time, set it over the sink. And we're going to take all the sauce, and we're going to take all the sauce that we made, and we're going to drain, oh, I'd say about that much. There you go. A little more. Yeah, that feels about right. Alright. So, we're going to drain that, and then we're going to take the tongs that we have, and we're going to mix it all within the meat that we've got. So you're not going to hurt it. If anything, you're just making it into smaller pieces doing this. So don't be bashful. This is a brand new channel. I'm just showing you some of these little easy recipes that I figured out that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people out there don't know how to do some of this stuff. So if I can help somebody you know, enjoy the Saturday or Sunday a little better. That's what I'm here for. So, all right, subscribe, comment if you got any questions, and see you in the next video.